You might be missing muscles your friends do have, or your body might have something extra. The human body has adapted in crazy ways, and there are surprising reasons why.
Proof of evolution that you can find on your body.
Where is it?
Your body is a temple, but it's also a museum of natural history. Look closely and you'll see parts that aren't there because you need them, but because your animal ancestors did.
So for you, that's the brain.
No longer serving their previous function, but not costly enough to have disappeared.
I wonder, what is the function for the human of moving the ear?
I think being the most popular person in high school. Because if you say like, oh, I can move my ears, then you're like super cool.
Mr. Bean moving ears. And you're Mr. Bean. He's really good at it.
Oh, he practiced. For cats or other animals, it makes sense because then you can move your ear to where the sound comes from.
Yeah, and it's on top of their head.
Can you move yours? Oh, there's a lot happening, but your ears are just...
Are they moving?
With your arm on a flat surface, push your thumb against your pinky and tip your hand slightly up. If you see a raised band in the middle of your wrist, you've got a vestigial muscle in your forearm.
Do you have this muscle?
I think I have it.
You definitely have it. Yeah, you definitely have it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Do I have it? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, yes, I have it. Yes,
you have it.
Yes. I don't want to miss any muscle.
No,
Sounds awful.
A muscle that around 10 to 15% of people are missing on one or both of their arms. It doesn't make them any weaker, though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It does.
It does.
We have the muscle, so it does. Do you have it? No? You're weak.
You're weak, sorry. You need to download the 90 challenge to get
You
stronger.
can download the app. It's free.
In fact, it's one of the first tendons that surgeons will take out so that they can use it in reconstructive and cosmetic surgeries.
Was that a lip filler? But did they fill it up with like the muscle missing here?
Does it also work for other muscles?
Is that a muscle? That's
No, it's not a muscle. Can I make it a muscle?
It's not the only leftover muscle that we've got. Look at the 3 that are attached to our outer ear. We can't get much movement out of these muscles, especially compared to some of our mammal relatives who use them to locate the sources of sounds. And then there's our tail.
It's a good tail.
Thank you.
Some people have 3, some people have 5. We call it the tailbone. Very rarely, though, a mutation allows the ancestral blueprint to prevail, and a human baby will be born with a true vestigial tail.
Oh. Can you do anything with it? Like, then I would also want to have a tail. Just
Like if you can just smack,
or just
or grab
balance.
stuff.
It's for balance, my man. You can just balance and then use your tail to balance. I wish I had a tail. It could hold things like my phone while watching YouTube and wash dishes.
Or hold a microphone.
But there is more interesting stuff on your body.
My body?
Everyone's body. The insane biology of humans.
Our planet is full of animals with absolutely crazy anatomical adaptations. Cheetahs can run up to 75 miles per hour or 120 kilometers per hour.
That's fast.
That's really fast.
That's really freaking fast.
Imagine just going at like 120 kilometers on the highway and then next to you there's a cheetah. You're like, hey!
Frogs can survive being frozen alive, and octopuses have 9 brains.
We have one, that's called efficiency.
Compared to all these other animals, humans might seem like we're lacking.
Yes, we humans tend to be... I would not survive in the wild. I would feel very useless. So please, video, make me feel better.
Humans are incredible. And you might even say we are downright weird. We have so many adaptations that are completely unique to us. Our nimble fingers, big brains, and the ability to walk on 2 legs. These assets have allowed us to create megacities and occupy nearly every habitat across the world. But then there are the adaptations that we don't see every day. Adaptations that some of us have, but never use, or adaptations that only select groups of people have. Humans are one of the most incredible athletes of the animal kingdom.
Maybe because the Olympics only allows humans to participate.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can't win if you're a tiger. Overhead throwing.
If you're a fan of baseball, you'll know that one of the most valuable players on any team is the pitcher, and reach speeds over 105 miles or 169 kilometers per hour. Since 1862, nearly 200 batters have died after being hit in the head or the chest.
I always wondered this actually. Like,
Yes, it looks dangerous like throwing that hard at people.
Young boys between the age of 8 and 14 who had moderate levels of Little League training could throw 2 times faster than a chimpanzee, even though chimps are about 4 times as strong as young men when controlling for size.
Yeah,
their
just a
arms.
longer arm,
because you have so much...
more momentum.
Yeah.
Like the lever is bigger.
Same thing with a whip.
First, the length of our waist expanded, allowing our torso to rotate independently from our hips. Next, our shoulders have developed a lower position on the torso. And the glenoid joint, where the collarbone meets our shoulder socket, points out to the side rather than upward like in chimps. This means we can turn our arms into levers.
I feel like I am incapable of throwing because if I throw something, I always feel like I'm dislocating my shoulder.
Twisting the arm back stores energy in the tendons and ligaments crossing the shoulder. This energy catapults the arm forward and actually creates the fastest motion the human body is capable of producing.
Maybe my arm is weird because I don't know how to throw. I throw like this, but you see them also moving what they just explained.
Yeah, with the hip rotation. In every sport, also like boxing or even football, but then with the lower body, you have to use the hip rotation.
But our early ancestors weren't only expanding their abilities in hunting on land. They were also foraying into a territory no other primate had ever been.
Aquatic apes.
It's very weird for humans actually to be so accustomed to water and be able to swim and dive.
One of our wildest adaptations is one that was born simply out of a need to not drown.
Are you not always wondering how these adaptations start?
The people that manage to somewhat be able to swim out of just accident, they survive because they don't drown. So they get more babies.
In 2007, a freediver reached a depth of 214 meters, holding his breath for longer than 3 minutes while he plunged deep into the ocean.
214 meters?
How fast do you move?
Swimming down? Doesn't that take like 5 minutes already? How is it possible? 214 meters?
Take the Bajau people, for example, who live around Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia. They survive by collecting shellfish off the seafloor. They dive repeatedly for about 8 hours a day.
I don't know how efficient that is for finding food because swimming for 8 hours a day requires you to then eat an insane amount of food. But it works.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. It just sounds very intense and I would need a lot of food.
There is evidence in the fossil record of our close relationship with aquatic environments. A number of Neanderthal skulls have been found to have extoses, bony growths in the ear canal that forms with repeated exposure to cold and wet conditions.
One day, 1,000 years from now, archaeologists are going to wonder why so many humans have plastic bags in their chests.
Why plastic bag? Oh.
Breast implants.
Life at high altitude.
At sea level in cities like Boston or Miami, the atmosphere is filled with a comfortable 21% oxygen. But as the altitude increases, the effective oxygen level begins to steadily drop. Above 2,500 meters, effective oxygen drops to 15%. And without acclimatizing, about 50% of people will get altitude sickness.
It's such a massive difference to go from 21% oxygen to 15.
You definitely feel it.
It's actually used to their advantage sometimes where these athletes that come from Colombia, for example, and they go to Europe, everything is a lot lower. They are more efficient with oxygen and they normally can last longer.
And over 4,000 meters, effective oxygen drops below 13%. And for most people, without acclimating, acute hypoxia is certain. This can rapidly progress to the more severe and potentially fatal high-altitude cerebral edema, but these risks almost completely disappear for a certain subset of people. A subset of people who have historically lived in 3 high-altitude locations around the world. These locations range between 2,500 to over 4,000 meters.
I wonder what happens if I was born super high up in the mountains and I just live there and train like super hard cardio-wise, and then when I'm 15 I move to sea level people then, right? I will be just like a freak, right?
That is
with an insane cardio.
Just as we can't fathom what abilities future humans might have, so too would it have been impossible for our early ancestors to imagine how far we've come.
I was about to say, I feel like we just saw some crazy stuff. The craziest things are happening as well. People are pushing the boundaries in so many ways, like they're trying the most crazy stuff, and we will get better. So it's crazy to see where we will be in 5,000 years.
Will we get better though? That's the question. If you look at like large-scale population right now, they're moving less. They're not using all those features anymore because we don't have to be in nature all day. So maybe a lot of us evolve into like sedentary sitting creatures that are super good with technology, super fast with their fingers.
It's so rare nowadays to find content that makes you feel proud of being a human instead of shaming you for being one. Well, then you gotta watch our channel more often. We look at the possibility of humans quite often and achievements. Huge shout out to the original videos in the description below. Make sure you check them out, subscribe to them. They are really well produced.
Evolution is super interesting. I wonder what will happen in the future. Maybe we just sit down and not move.
what actually will happen if you never move? I looked at this with a doctor. Make sure you check it out, subscribe to this link and hit that bell. And you want to definitely click this video. Click the free workout app. Make sure to move.